week, hearing. Today, and today we're talking about 10 secrets to live courageously. If you are endeavoring to live a courageous life, a prosperous life, a successful life, these 10 secrets are essential. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, whether you're starting a business, you're taking care of your family, you are looking for marriage and enrichment, these 10 secrets are essential. All right, so we're going to get right into it today. First secret is clarity. We need to be clear about what it is that we want. So I've been preaching this, time and time again, but if we don't know where we're going, it's very hard to hit the target. So clarity is of utmost is essential. One of the secrets that or challenges that a lot of people have that have come to me in coaching, they have said, well, I want to start a business. I want to do something to move forward, in addition to my day job, but they don't really know what it is that they want to do. And they say, okay, Arlene, help me to get to that next level. So the secret is thus: be clear. If I am on a flight and I'm going on a plane from New York to LA or New York to New York to San Francisco, it's essential that I know where I'm going. So the plane is off course much of the time. So there will be bumps and bruises and situations that come up. Life happens to all of us, but at least we know where we're going. So when there's a storm, the plane goes above. It flies above the storm so that the people on the flight don't get to feel much of the turbulence, right? But they eventually will come back on course and it will get to San Francisco, or the plane will get to Los Angeles. But can you imagine if we didn't know where we were going? The guy who climbed Mount Everest, he didn't just go out one day and say, hey, let me just climb this mountain, and oops, he happened upon the peak of the mountain. No, he planned it. Every great entrepreneur that I have encountered, including our lovely friend Bill Gates, he said that his goal was to have a computer on every desk. Prior to that goal, we didn't all have computers on our desks at all times. And then eventually he yielded quite a bit of funds and money as a result of his dream, his goal. But he had a goal. What's your goal? Take a breath. What is your ultimate goal? Is it merely where you are right now, or is there a big grand goal? And if it's a simple goal that you can just accomplish by yourself, I venture to say that's probably not it, guys. Okay? Remember that we're all here for a purpose and a plan and a reason, and that a whole lot of sperm had to compete for you to be here. And it's all in that book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Our Best Life. That's where I'm getting these secrets from. The goal is to be clear, okay? Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and get clear about what it is that you want. And let's say you're not too clear about how to do it. Nobody is, okay? That's the secret. None of us really know how we're going to do it. Do you really think Bill Gates knew exactly how he was going to do it? The story goes that his mother was actually on the board of directors with a gentleman who worked at IBM. And so she dropped his name. He was competing with a group of other people in order to have this opportunity to work with IBM. And because of his mom speaking on his behalf, he was selected, okay? And so it was random. He didn't know that was going to happen in order for him to be where he is today and all of the series of things that took place. So what's the secret? The secret is to have a plan. Do I want you to write it down? No, we'll get to that. The secret number one is to pick what it is. And then the second secret is visualization. And that is to ensure that you can see the plan, see the end from the beginning. So we don't know the how, we don't know the wheres and the why fors, but we know the end product, guys. We know where we want to end up. So we have to close our eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize it. See it. If we can't see it, then we can't believe it. If you can't see it in your mind's eye, guess what? It probably won't happen, so you don't need to worry about it. So we have to see it. When I was involved with politics and I wanted to win friends and influence people, I decided I wanted to work with the president of the United States. I wanted to go to DC. I wanted to work with even my local elected official. I was laughed at. I was told that I was having a vision of grandeur because I had this thought that I wanted to do this. Granted, I was a political science major, but I didn't know anybody in politics. I didn't have the bankroll behind me. And so it was stated that this was just a vision of grandeur. So what did I do? What worked? I closed my eyes. I prayed, because for some people, visualization is prayer, depending on what your religious belief is. For some people, it's meditation. And I'm not going to debate the specifics of what you want to call it, but the idea is that you're going inside and you're seeing it before it happens. So I saw it. I saw myself associating with these people, and eventually it happened. I went to a function. At the time, Mayor Bloomberg was the mayor when I was just starting out, and he came over to me. Now, some people say, well, there are a multiplicity of reasons why he may have come to me as opposed to other people, but I think, and I'm stating to you, and it's in the book, which they're showing you, the reason why is because I had already seen it. He was merely acting out what I had already seen, what I had already prayed for, what I had already envisioned, what I had already meditated on. Use your own phraseology. But we have to see something, okay? We got to visualize something so that we can manifest something. And manifestation is essential. But if we don't see it, it's not manifested. Another story. After my mom passed away, many of you know that I was stuck. And that's at the time in which I wrote this book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck. I had to live courageously. I wanted to live courageously, but I was stuck. So what are one of the things that I did? I started visualizing myself as if I was doing something. I was doing nothing, okay? But I had to visualize myself getting up. And the third thing is momentum. The third secret is momentum, because not only did I have to visualize myself implementing my vision and my goal, being in it, but I also had to move forward. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. This is where living courageously really comes into play. Guys, if you get nothing else, secret number 3 is massive. And we've had several people on the show talk about this particular number. Number 3, I'm not sure why it says 39 after momentum, but it's secret number 3. And what I'm suggesting to you is just step out, just do it. Just do it, Arlene. Just start walking in that direction, even though we don't know the roadmap, we don't know the pathway, whatever it is. If it's a relationship and you endeavor to have a relationship, go to that location where you think your Prince Charming or your beautiful princess is going to be. Go, walk it out, right? Or perhaps you're in a relationship right now where you're feeling challenges and you think, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to go. Operate and visualize yourself winning, and begin to walk it out as if you're winning, right? Talk to your partner as if you're winning. Move in the direction of winning. Make plans for your future, okay? Let's move forward and begin. Momentum is the key secret. I have had the biggest wins by showing up at places when I was endeavoring to do my career or endeavoring to start my business. Just showing up and talking the talk. And eventually the pieces of the puzzle came together. So let me tell you another secret. Another story. I know many of you have heard my story about how I met President Obama the first time. I had an event to go to, and nobody who was supposed to be with me from the station was available. Okay, nobody from the newspaper was available, and they were the ones that had my credentials. And so by right, I should have just waited and not gone anywhere. And in which case, if they didn't show up in time because they have a lot of other events, then I just would not have gone in. I would not have been able to interview him, and, it would have been a bust. But I visualized exactly what I'm telling you to do. I closed my eyes. I took a minute because I was pretty stressed. I didn't know what to do. I took a minute, closed my eyes, visualized, meditated, prayed, whichever one you want to call it. And I began walking. While I was walking, I was in the parking lot. I had parked my car. There was a line wrapped around the building. Okay. This is at the Marriott Hotel in Brooklyn, if any of you know where that is. So the line was wrapped around the block because President Obama was going to be there speaking. And I knew I was not waiting on that line, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I started to walk. I operated in this momentum. As I walked, guys, a man walks over to me. I think he was probably an attendant at the garage, but I did not speak to him. He walks over to me and he points that way. So I went that way. What I didn't know was that way was the entry into the facility. And then there was the elevator, the escalator. And so I went up the escalator. And of course, there were a huge number of police officers in the lobby on this floor. And I thought they were going to stop me, guys. I thought for sure they were going to stop me. And all of them looked at me and I went right in. So I kept walking. I operated in momentum. Remember, I had seen it. I had believed it. I had visualized it. I knew I'd been there before. So I kept walking. And then I get to the desk. I don't have my credentials. And the lady at the desk is not somebody who knows me or someone that I know. So sometimes, when you're going to these events all the time, it may have been somebody that I knew. I did not know this lady. She did not know me. Chances are someone comes out from the room who does know me, who works for another publication. And he says to her, "Oh, hi, Arlene." As a matter of fact, I don't even remember if he said it to her or if he just greeted me, which let her know that I was, part of the media. I'm not really sure. I don't remember the details now. But all I know is I was ushered in. I go to the back of the room. This part is the part that's the most amazing. Lean in. I go to the back of the room, guys. And while I'm in the back, something comes to my mind. Remember, I've already visualized this. I've already been clear about what I was going to do. I was there to interview the president of the United States without my credentials, by the way. And I said to the person in front of me, because it just came to me, I said, "Excuse me." And they moved out the way. It was like the parting of the Red Sea. The whole crowd moved from the back. So I was like, okay, this worked. I'm going to say it again. "Excuse me." And they parted some more. And I walked in further. I don't know what they saw, but all I said was, "Excuse me." And I kept saying, "Excuse me." And I went from the back of the room to the front of the room. So I'm standing in the front and there's only one lady in front of me. And she says to me, "I'm not moving." Okay. Because I've been here for 3 hours waiting, which is why I have this spot. So I'm like, wow. That means all the other people that moved had been waiting there for hours as well in order to position themselves. So why did they move? What was it that they saw? What was it that they perceived? So anyway, I didn't push her. I just, continued. When the function was over, the president walks from the stage. I kid you not. And guess what he does, guys? Type it in the chat if you know it. What do you think he does? He walks over to me. There's a whole bunch of people in the front row, but by now I'm in the front and he walks over to me. So I hold his hand and I'm like, "Take the picture," because I'm like, nobody's going to believe that these principles that I am outlaying, that they just work so easily, that they work so smoothly. So I need proof, which is a picture that this is what happened. But what I didn't know, guys, while I was saying, "Hold on," and I'm holding him and literally, Secret Service are there. They don't really allow you to touch him like that, but I did. And I guess he was being kind because I guess he figured something must be going on. So I really wanted someone to take the picture. That evening, my friend calls me and she says, "Arlene, I saw you on TV, but you looked crazy." I was like, "No, of course I didn't really look crazy." She said, "Yeah, you look crazy. You kept shouting, 'Take the picture, take the picture.'" So what is my point? My point is that I was afraid that no one else was going to see this and no one else was going to believe the story. But what I didn't know is when we walk it out, our true dreams, our true goals, our true visions, and we have things in our mind's eye and we pray or we visualize or we meditate, things can manifest. And it's up to us to walk it out and use that third secret of momentum. And if you join the group, if you're a part of our mastermind group, you'll see that photograph in the group. You'll get a chance to share with us what your dream is, your goal, your vision, what you're clear about, and we can help you to manifest it. All right, so secret number 4. on that journey. We said proximity. Beautiful, beautiful. So it's in the book. It's secret number 4. And when you get the book, there are a whole lot more details in terms of how to manifest these things. But I'm just telling you what they are. So proximity. A key secret to success is being close to the thing that you want. So I said I walked it out, okay, in that particular instance. When I wanted to be in a successful business, I would travel here to California, okay, because there are a lot of successful entrepreneurs here. There's successful entrepreneurs everywhere. But right now, we're close to and in proximity with one of the best and highest income earning communities in our country. So am I saying you have to do that? No, I'm not saying you have to do that, but it would make sense to be in as close proximity to the thing that you want as possible. So let's say what you want is to be a star person on television. We'll find some friends that are on television, okay? And if you can't be friends with those people, find them on social media and follow them on social media. Or in my case, buy the book. Read the books of the people who are willing to share with you what they've done to sit in the seat that they're sitting in. And then you begin to, the more you spend time with those people in proximity with them, the more you begin to be like them, more and more and more. And that's the secret to walk it out. And so, what am I sharing? Secret number 5. We said proximity was number 4. Secret number 5 is your habits. What are we doing? What are we doing with our time? This is key. This is key. This is key. Chances are you're doing today the same thing you did yesterday. And the same thing you did yesterday is the same type of thing you did before. And the same type of thing you did the week before. You know why? Because we're creatures of habit. Scientists say that we are most comfortable with doing the things that we've done before. Our brains are on auto. They say after the age of 35, you are actually not even thinking about how you're responding to things. You have already decided, your brain has decided how you respond to things. So when somebody says, would you like some ice cream? If you've always said, yeah, I like ice cream, then you're going to say, yes, I want ice cream. You're not really going to think about it. And so that's why it's so important for us to stop and interrupt our flow and interrupt our habits and really look at what we're doing. It was so simple for me that one day I would always travel from work a particular route. And one day I decided to drive an alternate route because I could literally, it would seem like I would leave work and by the time I got home, sometimes I would look up and I'd say, well, how did I even get home? There are situations where they say that people have driven through streets and mowed down groups of people because they didn't, before they realized that they were actually mowing down the people, because they were so accustomed to driving that route and going that pathway that they didn't realize that today there was a festival and so the streets were full of people until they were mowing down a couple of blocks worth of people. We're so inclined to be creatures of habit. So let's say you've been a cheater in the past and now somebody presents themselves to you. You're cheating again. Why? Because that's what you're accustomed to doing. So the only way you can shift and get around that is to become another person, set a different standard. And whoever it is that is your mentor or the person that you are looking to gain proximity to, ask yourself, how would that person respond to this situation? Does this person eat the cake? Does this person eat the ice cream? Does this person cheat? Does this person keep their family together? Does this person get promoted automatically? You know, how would that person handle the situation? And then you'll know exactly how to move forward with your habits. All right. Next secret. And I think we have one more before we go to break. I'll ask the team to let me know. Focus. Ha. Oh, yeah. And we talked about eating. We talked about what you eat impacts how you feel. So I shared with you that I like to have lattes. And one time before the show, I did a latte. I felt terrible, guys. I didn't feel like I could talk. I just felt like I wanted to go take a nap. And it's because it did not work well for me. It doesn't invigorate me. It helps me to relax. Now, usually I'm very excited. So if I take a latte, I'll calm down and it makes sense. But what I'm suggesting to you is look at what you're eating and how you feel when you eat it, and then eat that thing in accordance with the way you want to feel. Become more conscious. Okay, step out of our comfort zones. Remember, we're shifting. We're becoming that new person. We're raising the standard to where we truly want to be. Because remember, if we do the same thing the same way that we've always done it, we're going to have the same result. And most of us, including me, we don't want the same result, right? Because we want to move forward. And by the way, there's no such thing as standing still. You're either moving forward or we're moving backwards. So I want you to move forward. I want to see you win. I want to see you successful. I want to see you empowered and doing the things that are going to allow you to get to where you truly want to go. So secret number 6, I think it was, is focus. What are we focused on? Are we focused on the goal? Are we focused on the dream? Are we focused on the vision? Is that what we're focused on, or are we focused on what we don't want to happen? Many of you drive, and when you look in the rear view mirror, it says, you know, the things behind you look closer than they really are. So sometimes we're worried, or you're worried. You're concerned about something that happened in the past, and you're thinking about that thing that happened in the past. Can that hinder what it truly is that you want in the future? Yes. So that relationship didn't work in the past. So she cheated in the past. She was unfaithful. Are you looking at that while you're looking at this new relationship? So the business didn't work in the past. Did you know that most people who have successful businesses have had businesses that have failed in the past? Yeah, a multiplicity of times. There's a guy who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki. And he says that he failed at numerous businesses before he actually sold millions of copies of his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And we all know that book. Many people have promoted it. But do we promote the part that shows that he failed? Oprah Winfrey. Do we promote the part that says she got fired and she was told that she's not fit for television? Do we talk about that? No, not really. So what are you focused on? But she's not focused on that. She's focused on the future. All right. So I shared with you my challenges about how I've had multiplicity of things going on. I told you guys that I went through a divorce. I told you guys that I got publicly fired from a job by a newspaper cover. Like, most people don't even get on the cover of a newspaper. Like, I was heading up an organization, and in order to fire me, they put my face on the cover of the paper, and across it they said fired. Like, that was excessive. That was vile. I could sit and be stuck and focus on that, or I can begin to live courageously and move forward into the new areas that I'm in. That's why I wrote the book. If they hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have this best-selling book that says Overcoming Fear and Living Courageously. I probably would not have done the business that I have now with coaching and training. I'd probably be doing something else, the same type of stuff I was doing in the past. So focus. What are you focused on? Whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you focus on grows. Next secret, because I know we're running out of time. Is it time for me to go to break? I think it's time for me to go to break, but I have 3 more secrets before we close out. So I'm gonna go to break, and then I'm gonna come back and give you the 3 last secrets really quickly. Okay, enjoy this break.
I'm Arlene, host of the television talk show Ask Arlene, which airs on Thursdays at 6:30. And I'm here to tell you 2 reasons why you should join our Speakers Bureau training and how to become a world-class speaker. 1, revenue generation. People who know how to communicate well earn more dollars and cents. And 2, if you have a day job, you're not a speaker, teacher, author, trainer, you're going to gain promotion on your job if you're better able to communicate with confidence in those board meetings. Now, you say, why should I join your group, Arlene? There are so many programs out there. Well, I'm guaranteeing you an interview on television or radio if you complete our 10 sessions of our Speakers Bureau training. So I have a plethora of friends that do the same types of things that I do, and so we're guaranteeing you an interview on either television or radio.
And welcome back. Okay, so we're on to our last 3 secrets. And the next secret that we're talking about is I'm going to ask the team to put it down there. We were talking about focus before. We were saying that whatever you focus on grows. Whatever it is that you want to go to the next level with, you must be looking at it, focused on it, talking about it. And the last one, secret number 7, it's not the last one, but secret number 7 is write the plan. So many people write the plan at the beginning, and they're worried about the writing, and they're worried about, they have books and books written about what they plan on doing, and they can talk to you about what they plan on. They're gonna do it, and they never actually do it. So my secret in terms of living courageously for you is to write about it afterwards. Okay, secret number 7. So you're already doing, you're moving, you're growing, you're finding the people who are gonna fill in the blanks for you, fill in the gaps for you. And then based on that, now you have a better idea of what to write. Now you know what to write, because now you have a better idea of the plan itself. So I'm talking to you. Yes, you. You're still here listening. Okay? And I'm telling you, you can have an extraordinary life. You can step out the box. You can be the one in your family to actually live that extraordinary life. Decide you're going to live somewhere else and move and do it, just like I have. There's nothing special about people who step out. The thing that's special about us is that we visualize it and we seek it out. So if I wasn't seeking what it is that I'm sitting in now, I probably would not have found it. Okay? So we said focus and we said write the plan. And now you have people in your sphere, whether you're reading their books or you're making contacts with them physically. So you have a better idea of what the plan should be. And then the next secret, secret number 8, is environment. Guys, this is key of all the secrets. And the secrets are in order of importance, by the way. There's a reason why clarity is number 1 and writing the plan is number 7. But now we're talking about environment. So did you know that 95% of the people who have successful businesses come from wealthy families? That's a key piece of the puzzle that we're missing. So we hear people talk a lot about how 90% of businesses fail within the first 7 years. But do they also share with us that those businesses who are successful because they're well-funded? They're well-funded. They come from families where mommy was a business owner, daddy was a business owner, maybe auntie, uncle, somebody in the lineage was a business owner, and so they were able to follow. People who have successful marriages, they come from families where there were successful marriages. Now, does that mean that if you didn't come from a family where there's a successful marriage that you can't? No, I'm just talking about in general. Are there exceptions? Of course. Are we exceptions? Sure, we want to be the exception to the rule. But what I'm sharing with you is, if you look at your environment, what are you around? That's what we are going to manifest. Okay, so if you're around people like I was, I'll give you my own story. I was around a group of friends that were not married, right? And when my marriage broke up, I decided to be around this group of friends that weren't married. Why? Because they were just like me. So when I decided I wanted to be married, I had to find groups of friends that reflected what I wanted. So look at your environment, clean up your environment, and make sure that your environment reflects what you want. And the last one, I'm wrapping it up, it's over, is get a coach. Be persistent and go ahead. Number 10 is go ahead and get a coach. Thank you for spending the time with me. See you next week. Bye-bye.
So I'ma always be good. Said I'ma always be good.